Okay, so I, Tonya is the Margot Robbie film about Tonya Harding. Now, of course, this is a dark comedy slash biopic. So when they go through the amount of abuse Tonya Harding received as a child, there was documented cases of it. Some people say it's played up more than it actually is. And it's not just the physical abuse, there's other forms of abuse as well. You can tell they're probably maybe a little bit more intense than what she might have actually gone through, but it is in there. So, of course, you go through Tonya Harding growing up, her father leaving, her mother being someone who pushes her highly aggressively. That's the way that I'll put it. And then it goes to her time as a skater. They do a little bit of her time post-skating. So they do a little bit of celebrity boxing. But I will say Margot did a very good job in this. I remember hearing an interview where she mentioned that to get into the character, she actually listened to Tonya Harding interviews for 8 hours. For those of you who are unaware who Tonya Harding, well, I guess, is now and was then, America really had two solid women figure skaters. Nancy Kerrigan, Tonya Harding. Now, if you were to compare the two, Nancy Kerrigan was very much the poster child for what they wanted in the world of figure skating. She was technically proficient, and she kept her nose clean, didn't have anything wrong with her, and she had that certain statuesque appearance that they preferred when it came to figure skaters. Tonya Harding was technically superior and a much stronger athlete, but she didn't quite have the look. So there's someone who was easily better, technically, like I said, and stronger, but didn't have the grace that they would like for a figure skater. Tonya Harding knew it, and if you actually were someone who watched the Olympics and watched her back then, she could do things that no one else could do, just from a raw power standpoint. But when it came to the more graceful dancing aspects of figure skating, it was not there. When it came to the way she presented herself very much as more like a tomboy. To try to put it in current, like more current style, think of it like Ronda Rousey and Chris Cyborg. You've got two people who are both highly decorated in their profession. One more camera friendly, one less camera friendly. The only difference is this time, Tonya Harding and Kerrigan, they actually did face each other. And Tonya Harding, when her head was on straight and she knew what to do, was very good. Very, very good. She just associated with some of the wrong people. Of course, if you don't know what ends up happening with Nancy Kerrigan, is she gets attacked. So they go through the method of how things developed leading into the attack. It's very much a dark comedy, very closely based upon what actually happened. It paints Tonya Harding as, ironically, a tragic character. During the time when news media was finally hitting a real 24-hour news cycle, they needed something. And Tonya Harding was perfect. They took every aspect of her life and they blew it up 1,000 times. They needed to fill dead air, and this was a person who, if you put a camera face long enough, she yelled and she snapped back. Why? Because that's what you do when someone is constantly poking you in the face and shining a camera in your face and your eyes. Sooner or later, you are going to just snap. You are going to say something like, oh, look at this thing that you said. Yes, if you antagonize somebody long enough, you will get a reaction. And that's pretty much what they did to her. It's a good movie. It's a dark comedy slash biopic. Definitely going more on the dark comedy side of things. But incredibly well acted. And there's just enough reality thrown to make you kind of go, yeah, that's probably pretty close to how these people actually went through this process.